What's up, guys? This is Theo from Theo's Pets, and this is Apollo. He looks like he's about to jump. Today we're going to talk about crested gecko enclosures. So we're about 6-7 months into this now, and all of my geckos, with the exception of 2, are in entirely different cages from one another, ranging from tubs to different types of glass enclosures. So today I'm going to go over a little bit about the pros and cons of each of them. You're going to get a look at how I have them set up, what I got staying in them, if we can find them without disturbing them, and do a comparison on what we like, what we don't like, is it worth the money, and why you would spend $200 on a tank. So let me get Dude Man here put back into his tub. Yeah, what's up, buddy? He's actually super personable now that he's getting comfortable. Yeah. Whoop. Come here. I love this little dude. Alright, come on, Apollo. Thanks for the licks. Oh, so because I watched my child during the day, the way I recorded these clips this time were individually with the GoPro from like a POV. So we're going to watch a video of all of the tanks, and then we're going to do a sit-down comparison and comprehensive diagnosis of them and see what we think. So here's that video now. So over here we have the 18 by 18 by 36 Zoomed Paludarium. Now this is, from what I can see, very comparable to the skyscraper, which I see a lot of people using crested geckos with. I just happened to get this one on sale. So as you see here, we've got the screen top, which allows pretty rapid humidity escapation for the fluctuating humidities that Crested's like. We fitted it with a nice corkboard background. I think the only real difference between the skyscraper and the Paludarium here is the space of the glass on the bottom here. I think the skyscraper is actually a little bit lower down where the door would open, and this is to allow for adaptation for aquatics, I believe, is the whole point of this. However, once again, I got this one on sale, and it actually works perfect for my breeding pair of olives here. Let's see if I can find one of them. Kronos is normally hiding right back here. Come here, buddy. Yeah, you having a good nap? So this is Kronos, the male. Now I do have a breeding pair living in here, cohabbed. They get along very well. She is actually, she likes to hide in, that used to be their water dish, but she lives in it. So I put a water dish in their food ledge here, which I just got them larger cupped food ledge to give them plenty of food. What's up, buddy? You waking up now? This is Kronos in all his glory. I enjoy the glass tanks at the Paludarium here. I have a couple other ones which I'm going to show you now. So here's just one more quick overview of this 18 by 18 by 36 zoom in. And I say bye, Kronos. So here we have a 10-gallon tank that we put a conversion kit on. The conversion kit I've got here is from All American Cages on Etsy. And so what I've noticed with this is it actually lets out humidity very slow compared to most other tanks that I have in the room here. Not to say that it doesn't release humidity very well, because it actually still worked very, very well for the gecko I had in here. It just releases a little bit slower, so it had a different misting time than most of the other cages in the room. I don't currently have anybody in here. I just moved the female that was in here for mating. And so, but as you can see, just 10-gallon tank, cheap from Walmart, like 15 bucks. Then the conversion kit, I believe, was right at $30. It came with a reptile safe adhesive to adhere it with. The only issue really that I have with the 10-gallon with the conversion kit is there's very much of the entirety of the surface area is glass, and so it's very prone to fingerprints, to streaking, to poop and pee stains. Even from misting, you'll get those little water stains. So that's something to consider if you're using that for a display. And we'll talk about that in our actual sit-down comparison towards the end there. But that is the 10-gallon with the conversion kit. Now, the thing with the conversion kits I do like is that they come in customizable sizes. So 20-gallon, 40-gallon long, whatever, it doesn't matter what you're using. You can probably find a conversion kit pretty cheap and pretty readily available for it. So that is definitely awesome in itself. So for cheaper bills that you still want nice glass enclosures, it's definitely something to consider. So this is the Thrive 30-gallon tropical reptile and amphibian kit. The difference here is the kit includes a bunch of stuff with it. The tank, a 60-watt blue bulb, which I don't use because a lot of the reptiles in here are very sensitive to blue light. 13-watt UVB bulb, which I do use, just not on this tank. 2 dome lamps. It came with an analog hydrometer and thermometer, which we do not use. We replace all of them with these round, sorry, I was on the wrong side. These round digital thermometers here. Get them for like 10 bucks a piece at Petco, but I found some on Amazon that come in a 4-pack. They're these little silver square ones. They come 4 for 10 bucks, so I'm thinking about switching to those from here on out. If anybody has any familiarity with those, please let me know down below. Came with a brick of coconut fiber. It came with this background, which while we're back here, let's see if we can see Miss Calypso. This is my Pangea XXX gravid female. This is my baby. She's back here tucked behind this tree. I can't really get a good shot of her because it's dark. It came with this twist leaf vine, and actually it came with a different feeding ledge than the one that's here now, but that's okay. I think I paid about $180 for this entire setup. I like the size. I like the size of the opening and the big swing out door here. It makes cleaning very easy because it's easier to get stuff in and out, as opposed to, like, for example, the conversion kit, which has this little latch door. The big opening is wonderful. It has a screen top and grating here, so it releases humidity fairly well, honestly about on par with the Paludarium or the skyscraper. I mean, just realistically, I honestly very much so enjoy this tank, but once again, it's like 200 bucks, so that's really going to depend on what exactly you're looking for. For a display, this was a phenomenal choice. Honestly, I very much so recommend this if you're looking for something nice and glass. When you're moving it, it does have bigger sections of the matted stuff here, unlike your normal tank, so it doesn't streak as bad, even though, as you can see, the majority of it is glass. And so if you're not careful, you will definitely get fingerprints and streaking. But I really don't have anything too bad to say about this one, honestly. And I guess as the kit for 180 bucks, realistically, not a bad little put together. Obviously, I've got the tree, this other ledge, a hammock, I've got some other stuff in here, but you get the gist. So for our hatchlings, we have these PVC enclosures. They're 8x8x12s. They have little screen cutout lids here. I got these in particular from DW Geckos and Terraria for about 35 bucks a piece. Honestly, really enjoy them for the hatchlings. They hold humidity really well, which is good for the little guys because they shed so much. It's actually plenty spacious. There's 2 pool noodles in there. I can stick my entire hand in between the space of the pool noodles. I mean, realistically, and it already has the blacked out sides, which is great so the little guys don't get too nervous. We don't want any drop tails, knock on wood. We've not had any yet. But these PVC cages are really nice. I use PVC for my boa for humidity reasons. You really can't go wrong with them, to be honest. I would imagine in the larger sizes they would also work very well for crested geckos. I don't have any larger size PVCs for crested geckos specifically, just for the boa, but based off of that, in that larger scale, these PVC tanks are actually really nice in themselves. They also look very nice and stack together and make a very just visually pleasing display, which is also something to consider. So alright, so next I want to talk about tubs. So right here I have 2 tubs, which currently are the only 2 geckos I have tubbed, but here soon the baby in the PVC will get moved to a smaller version of one of these. So here I have a juvenile, here I have a subadult. He's right at 25 grams, so he's still got a little bit of growing to do. But at first, let's talk about the ventilation. The cool thing about the tubs is because you make your own personalized ventilation. Here you can see drilled out holes. In this one, I cut a big hole, screened it, and then taped around the top just to see how I like the comparison of the two. If you have any humidity problems, which FYI, the plastic holds humidity very well, you can always add more holes to get more ventilation. To decrease your humidity, you can cover the holes to increase your humidity. So that is also always very nice. The other thing I like is they're cheap. So this tub here was about 10 bucks at Walmart. All of your generic reptile supplies pretty much fit in there. Those bamboo vines or bamboo little pole things you get from pet store. I've got some pool noodles in here, a whole lot of coverage. We've got a ledge. I've got him a hide coming in the mail, which we're going to do an unboxing from that company here within the next few days when it all comes in. That'll suction cup to over here in the tree line. While I'm on the subject of the suction cups, though, that is another pro of the tub that I like. With the glass, I've noticed sometimes you have some issues with the suction cups staying attached. You'll hear things fall as the lizard climbs around on it. I've had a food dish fall, and for some of your smaller guys, that can actually be kind of dangerous. So that's something to watch out for. But with the plastic here, I've noticed that the suction cups actually hold really well. I've not had any issues with anything slipping, so all of your little boy and girl geckos would be a lot more secure there. The problem with the tubs is that they don't look nice, and some people on the internet complain about people using tubs. We'll get more into that in the sit down here, the comprehensive comparison in a minute. Let's see if we can find, this is Apollo. He's my Pangea XXX male that we just got to breed to Calypso whenever she's done laying this clutch of eggs. Here he is. He's normally pretty personable, but I think he looks kind of shy of the camera. What's up, buddy? Well, let's go ahead and just tuck him back since he doesn't look like he wants to be disturbed. Enjoy your nap. Alright. Alright, so this is Calypso, my other Pangea XXX. She is a female, currently gravid, mated to a different Pangea XXX that I don't own. She's in that 30-gallon Thrive kit that we just looked at in one of those videos. So, say hi. So, basically what I want to talk about with the comparison, I guess, is price to function. Now, I will say I personally bought a lot of these glass enclosures because they look pretty. I do this little YouTube channel. I have a very active Instagram, thinking about making a TikTok, and so they're visually pleasing, especially when you display everything nice and neatly. And so that in itself has a certain value depending on what exactly it is you're needing or going for. I don't think that's feasible once you start getting into larger numbers of animals, unless you just have just a crazy amount of space and income. But with that being said, function wise, tubs are definitely the way to go. They hold humidity very well. They're super easy to clean. They also look clean. And what I mean by that is fingerprints, streaks from misting, all of that. I think that the little bit of opaqueness on the side of the plastic also helps obscuring some of the visibility from the gecko. If you want me to be really honest, I've noticed that the ones I've had in the glass enclosures do tend to, during the day especially, hide completely out of visibility, while the ones in the tubs will get up on a ledge under a flower, but the back half of them will be out, their tail is out, they're not completely out of sight. And after that consistently being a thing I've noticed, I think there's some merit to that, at least from my personal experience. Also with the glass, because of the humidity in the area I'm at, I have corn snakes too. I don't even miss their cages. Their humidity stays around the 40-50% mark just naturally from the environment. So with that being said, I mist once a day, if even, depending on how slow the humidity drops. The glass, some of them let out humidity quite well. The 10-gallon with the conversion, there would be times where I would have to go 2 to 3 days without misting the enclosure for humidity reasons, just to let it drop so we can have that fluctuation back. Now, I know some people are going to say, oh, the crested geckos that you have to mist so they drink. I give all of my crested geckos standing water in their food ledges, and all of them drink the standing water. It's hard to get a video of it, and when I turn on the ring light and stuff, the way everything's positioned in here and the shadows from the window, if I don't have the ring lights and whatnot I have up here on, which are strategically positioned, it's actually quite dark in the cages, especially with the overhead light casting shadows. So the geckos can come out and get in the UVB if they want to. They also have completely darkened spaces. So with that being said, that's not very good for camera shots. And so the few times I've tried to catch them in this act, I've startled them, and I've not been able to catch them actually drinking. And I don't have a camera that has good enough battery life to just still motion them all night, you know. But anyway, they all drink the standing water, and so that's not really too much of an issue, because you do just let the humidity run out and fluctuate and then go back up. So I really do enjoy the PVC cages though as well. They're cheaper than the glass. It's kind of like a good in-between option in my opinion, and what I mean by that is this: they're not $10 a piece, obviously. I paid $35 for these. I believe they were, I said it in the clip, I don't remember, I think they were 8 by 12s maybe. I'm gonna link down below where to get them anyway. They were like $35 a piece. I'm guessing as you get up into the larger sizes for large geckos, they will get a little bit more expensive, but you're probably not gonna hit the same price range you're looking at with some of these larger tanks. Now, I did buy the Thrive for $180, the whole kit. I got the Paludarium used for like $100. However, I'll link it down here. I found it for, sorry, I have a cheat sheet where I wrote a lot of these numbers down. I found it for $184.50 online, Paludarium. However, once again, I really don't see any benefit to getting that over the Skyscraper, and I do believe the Skyscraper was just very slightly cheaper, unless you want to. Now, I will say that leopard gecko cave thing that I have in the front of the Paludarium, because it does have that higher lip, my male olive harlequin, extreme harlequin in there, does use that cave quite often. So if you enjoy looking at your geckos chilling like that, that's actually kind of cool. I'll clip a picture. I don't have a video, but I have a picture I'll put right here. The thing with the glass is the cleaning. The cleaning process can be tedious. You clean it and then it can be immediately dirty, especially since these guys, unlike leopard geckos, for example, which you can actually give a litter box to, these just kind of poop wherever they are. They'll poop in their food dish, they poop from hanging from the ceiling, so there's just poop everywhere. So you could literally clean it and the next day there's just poops of white, like urate and feces just going down the whole front of the glass. The one, like for example, the Thrive, which has a nice little, I have big hands and big fingers, so they give you this tiny little ledge to grab to pull it open, and the whole rest of the front is glass. So I feel like for some people that's okay, but for me personally, I always end up touching and smudging the front anytime I need to go into the cage. So the other thing with the glass is they're not really stackable like the PVC, for example, or the tubs. As I mentioned in the video, the way I have the tubs positioned there, I could actually stack 2 more. So those all have ventilation on the top, so I would do ventilation on the side, on the bottom too, and we could literally just stack them. So space wise, cleaning wise, I think visually wise for the gecko itself, the tubs are definitely where it's at. The thing is, it's not visually pleasing for you, for me, for your reptile room. In most people's opinions, I don't mind them. I don't think they look bad, especially if they're done right. You saw my tubs there. The other one has some pool noodle stuff, and it's actually like boogie board, foam boogie board I cut and made them this really cool like cave with a plant behind it. And then I think I have a video clip of it here. One of the tubs I have up on the wall here, I actually did custom rock foaming background. I lost some of the clips to that, so that's kind of like a lost video of sorts, because I can't obviously refilm it because it's done, it's dry, it's put together. And so I will post clips of that here since it's lost footage, but it also will elaborate a little what I'm talking about, the customization of the tubs. I made this really cool looking rock interface, and I took a basket and a pot and I implanted it in the foam, and so there's natural caves and caverns built into this rock wall that he actually hides in and divots in that cave all the time. He loves it. So I'll post a little video clip of that process here. But so I don't mind the tubs. I don't mind the way they look, especially once again if they're done right. I've got a corn snake in a tub, these two guys in a tub. I'm about to move baby Atlas out of the PVC into an in-between size tub from there, and that adult size one here soon because they're getting a little weight on them, and I need to make room for hopefully some of these eggs here soon. So price to function to, I guess, what you're looking for is going to be the base answer of the question. So price wise, I think the tub is the way to go. Function wise, I also kind of suggest the tub realistically, especially since you can stack them. That's more geckos in a smaller space. You can spend more money on geckos and less money on $200 tanks. That's 200 bucks can buy you a pretty decently nice gecko depending on what you're looking to do. But if for your reptile room, for your display, for which if you want something that looks impressive, I would go with the glass. It takes a little more maintenance, a little more upkeep. It looks so much nicer and so much cleaner. I would say it almost looks a little more professional in a way. However, it's improbable, especially once you start getting into larger numbers of geckos, snakes, whatever you're keeping in them. I mean, it would be ridiculous to try to house, you know, somebody has 38, a breeding program of 38 geckos like my friend Tyler. I couldn't imagine having 38 30-gallon Thrive tanks. Just, I mean, the amount of money you spend on the tanks, the racks, the room itself, it's just, that's astronomical to sit there and try to calculate. So I mean, if you just have one gecko and you want something really cool and really nice, realistically, this Thrive 30-gallon is awesome. I like it a little bit more than the Paludarium, mostly because of the ventilation on the top, and how it opens and whatnot as well. Because, side note, on the Paludarium and the Skyscraper, they have this little pin latch system that locks it. My used one didn't come with a pin, and it's been a bobby pin, slightly open, and it works just the same. Just a heads up. But because of the ventilation, the way the humidity comes out, I think I like it a little bit better than the Skyscraper / Paludarium, though that has a little more vertical space. However, this has plenty of vertical space, but the horizontal space is more rectangled out and spaced evenly, and then like actually like drawn out like you would say like a 20 long, right? And so there's actually ample space for the gecko to move and climb, and you can build, I believe, more comprehensive enclosures here than you could with that, just because of that's a long narrow rectangle. This is more of a cube, I guess, like a cube-ish rectangle, I guess is the best accurate way to put it. But she's got a tree, she's got a ramp, she's got a lay box, she's got a whole line of just plants. Like, I honestly really enjoy this Thrive setup, and everything that came with the ledge, the vine. Honestly, that was really awesome for 180 bucks. If you're not looking for something big, splashy, and impressive, and you'd rather spend, you know, $500 on a gecko and then not have to worry about buying a $100 gecko and then a $400 setup, the tubs are honestly perfectly fine. I have a $600 lizard in a tub, if that tells you anything right there. So, well, that's my 2 cents. This was Theo. This was Calypso, and I hope that helps somebody. You guys have a great day.